Hello everyone. This week's parasha is Parashat Ekev. Candle lighting is 7:45, and Shabbat will finish at 8:52, according to Rav Moshe Feinstein. Now we all know that the life is a test. We struggle to make living, to raise children, to build communities. Nothing comes easy. Everything is a one big test. Now, but let's say if everything would be served in a silver platter, of course everything would be great. Yeah, no more worries, how to pay our children's tuition, how to buy a car, how to fix the roof, how to fix the house. Everything will be easy. Everything will be easy. Now, but let's say if everything we needed came to us like a manna in the desert. When the Jews for 40 years they ate manna, heavenly manna. So would that be a blessing? Probably, yeah. That would be probably a great blessing. Now, it seems like from the Torah, it seems like a little bit different, and we're going to talk about it today. Now, we know when the Jews came out from Egypt, and they complained to Moshe, and they complained to Hashem, and they said, we used to eat this and that in the desert. We used to eat fish and all these things. We used to eat fish in Egypt. So, and then they wanted to eat. So what happened? Hashem said that he will bring down, he says, behold, I will rain down bread from heavens on you, Hashem said, and people should go out to collect their daily portion every day in order to test whether or not they will follow in my Torah. Now, Hashem says, I will test you, meaning I'll bring down the manna, and that would be a test if you're going to follow in my Torah. Now, what does it mean, a test? Test for what? Testing what? What is Hashem testing us? So Rashi explains, he says that Hashem, he was referring to the laws about manna. For example, that you were supposed to finish the manna that day, you shouldn't be leaving it over, and you shouldn't be collecting too much, meaning on Shabbat you should be collecting double portion. According to Rashi, that was the test of manna. Okay. Now, according to now in this week's parsha, again it mentions about manna. It talks about that Hashem, he fed you manna in the desert, and it says why? In order to test you. Now in this week's parsha, the Sforno explains, and he says, what was the test? He says the test is to see if the Jews would still follow in the Torah, and when they do not have to worry about their livelihood, which means would they still follow in the Torah? Now they have no problem with livelihood. They don't have to go and work. They don't have to do anything. They have so much free time. Were they still going to follow the Torah or not? That was the test. Now, of course, the bread that's raining down from heaven, that's coming down from heaven, you don't have to work, you don't have to do anything. Now we know that affluence, which means, when a person has, a person is rich and it's without effort, sometimes could be a dangerous thing. It comes with a great amount of leisure time and freedom of action. The question is, what do you do with that time? Do you do forbidden things, or do you use it for Hashem? Do you use it to follow Hashem's Torah? Do you use it to follow Hashem's mitzvot? That is the test. That was the test of the manna. Now, now we know that the poverty has its own test, but also, which means to be poor, has its own test. However, says Sforno, that being rich, also comes with the great temptations. And what do you do with that free time? What do you do with that free time? Now, this is the test of the manna. And that test, and that test is for many Jews at the time when the Jews have it good, let's say, when you have a free time, when you have a lot of free time, what do you do with that time? That was the time, that was the test of the manna. Now we know Chovot Halevavot, he says in Shara Bitachon, he says, what's the reason that Hashem made human beings unlike birds and animals? Why did He make us to go and earn livelihood? What was the problem? Like, why do we have to look for life? Like, we have to work and work. And animals, they have to go hunt, whatever. They go hunt, they eat, and that's it. But humans, they always have to earn for livelihood, and they have to go and work. Why didn't Hashem make it that it should be easier for us to earn livelihood? Why is it so difficult? So the reason, he says, Chovot Halevavot says, is to help us to control the Yetzer Hara, to help us to control Yetzer Hara. If we had too much time in our hands, we would not be able to resist the temptations. Temptation that Yetzer Hara puts before us. Now, we know, even now, after working or after doing so much, a person is too tired to do the temptations, or at the end of the day after work, he's too tired, he's too this, too that. But even then, it's very difficult to resist the temptation. Now, you see how much if a person would not go to work and he would have so much time, if he would do nothing all day and he would just sit and do nothing, of course his temptations would be much greater. Now, Magid Mimezrich says something very interesting. He says, when people face trouble, when they are in trouble, so what do? They come to Hashem, they pray, they start davening nicely with a lot of kavanah, they say tehillim with, right away they become religious. Yeah, they become very, they come to shul, they do a lot of things. But, they give charity, but when the things go well, and, when the things go well in person's life, and they're going, and everything's going wonderfully, so what do? Do they give too much time about Hashem? Do they think about Hashem? Not always. So that also could be the test of the man, which means, when we have livelihood, when Hashem gives us livelihood, we should be thinking about Hashem. To work, it's not easy, but we're always connected to Hashem. But when a person does nothing really, he sits at home, or he doesn't work, and he wastes his time, he doesn't learn Torah, he wastes his time, his temptation is greater. It's greater. So this is the lesson that we'll learn from the man. What do you do in your free time? What does a person do? Does he follow in the ways of Hashem, or does he sit and waste his time? Have a great Shabbat.